Feeding visitors to North Korea is largely organized by the state and travel agencies, which plan meals and approve hotels and restaurants so that the country's culinary image is coherent and controlled. The menu for guests is dominated by Korean cuisine with an emphasis on local delicacies such as kimchi, broth-based soups, and noodle dishes, served in a prescribed order and with an emphasis on the representational character of presentation. A typical meal in the capital may begin with cold noodles called naengmyeon, served in a clear or slightly tangy broth, which are advertised as a Pyongyang specialty and are readily offered to tourists. Large hotels, often hosting foreigners, serve buffet and banquet dinners where the selection of dishes is meant to showcase culinary variety while avoiding items deemed controversial by the authorities. Multi-person tour groups are sometimes invited to traditional Korean tabletop grilling, where meat and vegetables are hospitably carved and the dining ritual is part of the cultural experience. Some restaurants for foreigners offer international menus with pizza, burgers, and Chinese dishes, which stems both from tourist appeal and from the presence of visitors from various countries. In famous establishments such as Okryuguan in Pyongyang, the renowned naengmyeon and other regional specialties are served, and these places are often promoted by guides as a must-see on the itinerary. Sometimes meals for tourists are prepared as banquets with ceremonial toasts using local alcohol, meant to emphasize hospitality, national pride, and characteristic communal dining customs. Hotel restaurants pay attention to service aesthetics and the orderly presentation of dishes, and staff appear trained to serve foreign guests according to the expected service protocol. Guests often receive dishes aligned with Western tourists' expectations, such as pastas and salads. However, meat ingredients are sometimes served sparingly and depend on availability and local seasonal stocks. On museum and official tours, lunches have an educational character during which guides explain the symbolism of dishes and the connection of cuisine to the nation's history and traditions. Mercantile shops and department stores, also intended for foreigners, sell imported sweets and beverages, allowing tourists to supplement meal choices with products outside the local menu. In many visitors' accounts, there is an opinion that the quality of food at selected venues can be high because local authorities seek to create a positive image through carefully prepared dishes and representational table arrangements. During tours to historic regions, tourists may sample regional dishes such as pansangi from Kaesong, which hark back to old dining traditions and are served in a characteristic manner. Meals served in special government restaurants can be more expensive than at local stalls, and prices and availability are sometimes regulated according to the guest status and the place of consumption. Some hotel canteens feature dishes inspired by Russian or Chinese cuisine, reflecting the region's historical and economic ties and the tastes of arriving foreign guests. During organized banquets, there are also artistic performances and songs that accompany the served dishes, making the meal part of a larger cultural spectacle. Tourist menus often avoid heavily spiced dishes, as organizers make sure the food is acceptable to a wide range of guests with varying taste preferences. In some locations, access to fresh seafood and fish is strongly dependent on the region, and guides select dishes to present local natural resources in the best light. Special restaurants for tourists may serve soju and local beers, but their quality and availability vary depending on the season and trade relations with foreign countries, which affects the alcoholic selection during official banquets. Private accounts describe meals prepared in locals' homes. However, tourists rarely have the opportunity to participate in such intimate experiences for formal and security reasons, leaving this culinary dimension to rare, selected encounters. Tour operators usually set menus in advance, and accompanying staff monitor the course of meals, taking care of logistics and culinary safety for visitors, including consideration of allergies and dietary preferences. As a result of supply restrictions and sanctions, some ingredients may be less commonly available, so restaurants rely on substitutes and local seasonal products as well as preservation techniques to maintain menu variety. Tourist bars and cafes in the capital offer coffee, tea, and pastries, demonstrating a desire to create a more familiar international gastronomic offering for visitors, and some of these places function as showcases for foreign guests. Some travel companies organize themed dinners in which regional cuisine is presented in appetizer form, with explanations of dishes' origins and associated customs, serving both educational and promotional functions. Meal preparation at closed facilities such as hotels and poolside restaurants is often carried out according to standards set for foreign guests, with additional layers of quality control and presentation. Exceptional culinary experiences for tourists are also sometimes linked to sporting or cultural events, where banquets are organized for invited guests and foreign delegations and menus are tailored to the event's rank.